Hey, thanks for joining me today. I'm Luke Kumo from Season 2 of The Ultimate Fighter on Spike TV. This is my food preparation show, Kung Food.
Today on Kung Food, we have a very special show. Today we take field trip. We go to Manhattan. We go to Jobs Longevity.
Jub's Longevity, 508 East 12th Street in New York's Lower East Side. I think Dr. Jub has the most dynamic and cutting-edge research in the field of holistic medicine and healing through diet, nutrition, and cleansing. I came here to learn as much as I can about the subject and hopefully spread the good word. We're here with the owner, operator, and originator of Life Food, Dr. David Jubb. How are you today, Doctor?
Really great, Luke. Yeah, really great to have you here with us, and it's really great to do a little bit of a session, show everybody a little bit about what Life Food is. Well, Luke, it is vegetarian, and it really is only food which a semblance of this food could be found growing wild somewhere. So it really is fruits and vegetables primarily, and things, and sort of sea vegetables and fermented food and things. But it really is no strange undigestible proteins or runaway sugars. So there's no starch and no beans. So basically it's everything else, which for some people they wonder, gee, what's left?
The burrito with no beans or rice. These are homemade onion rings. And this is something called Licious, which is kind of like, tastes almost like a jerky.
I saw that there were all kinds of reasons why people really did need to have a way of eating, which is healthier. I could see there was all these strange undigestible runaway sugars and proteins in a lot of food. A lot of it was all cooked up, and the three-dimensional structure of the food is really sort of, once it's heated, it really does destroy most all of the properties of the food. All the antioxidants and the anti-inflammatories and the amino acids, essential fatty acids and things. But I could see that there was a real great calling for people to do what they could to actually move more toward a better way of eating and having food remain more as in its integrous state. Because most everything out there is sort of a dead cooked food, and it's sort of really an empty, dead, skeletonized sort of calorie of food. Most people might be surprised that most pizza and all these things that people really do love, is actually really a drug. Yeah, it has element that actually can't really be broken down properly by the body, has some physiological effect, and that's the definition of a drug. But it was amazing because the other day I asked Luke, I said, here, have some taste of this, well, just a taste. And Luke said, no, he's getting ready to do some training, you know what I mean? He knows that it's better for empty stomach, basically, and he performs better. And then it's possible after that to have eaten something. If you've got stuff in your belly, you've actually got to be out resting for that to be processed. If you've got things in your belly, then you can't really perform quite like you really should or could, because the energy's really been taken up by the things actually being digested in the belly.
Let me ask you, Dr. Jubb, the milk that we're going to make today, would that be an acceptable fuel after a workout?
There probably, Luke, is not anything made by a chef more powerful for sport, for people in high performance sorts of sport, than the drink that you're going to make for everybody. They could make it at home. Very simple ingredients, and very superior. Of course, you've got wonderful mineralization, and in sport, of course, you need your electrolytes and things. Lots of people sort of know about this, but you're going to be making a drink which truly has wonderful amount of electrolytes beyond Gatorade or any of these other drinks that you see people sloshing down in between events and things, You're going to put some sea vegetable in there. You're going to combine maybe 2 or 3 sort of nuts, I think, and then you're going to put some coconut fat in there. Wonderful to bring it up. You're going to put some sun-dried sea salt in there, a little bit of honey to sweeten. My goodness, unbelievable. These ingredients by themselves are incredible, but put together into a milk. And I suppose, Luke has really sort of got the culinary art. I don't know where he got it from. Maybe someone in his family, who knows, but he really does know how to put a milk together, and it'll be really great to actually sample some of this milk that you make.
It's a variation on the recipe that I learned here at Jub's Longevity. So here we have a little mixture of macadamia nuts, almonds, and Brazil nuts. Okay, now these are raw and organic. Dr. Job, could you explain why it's important to have raw ingredients?
Most of our viewers are probably really only ever having cooked stuff. But when you cook that food, the molecular structure of it completely changes. It loses its three-dimensional structure completely. The enzymes which help break that food down are missing once it's cooked. Whereas, as you're going to make this milk right now, it has all of its enzymes. An enzyme is really a proteinaceous material which can assist to help break other foodstuffs down. So you're keeping all of these nutrients intact in the milk that you're making by making sure that you're using nuts which are uncooked.
Alright, here we go, right into the Vitamix. I'm going to cover this with water. Okay. We're using raw honey here.
Most honeys are not so equal to each other because they might not have come from a fruit tree, might not be wild. The bees could have gone into the field and got clover, and that's more of a sucrose type of a sugar in the honey, and that makes it very high glycotic. But this is a honey which has a very low glycotic rate in comparison. It has an abundance of enzymes. It's probably one of the very few foods which actually creates florification so wonderfully, Luke. And flowers on the earth are sort of disappeared. So, you know, this is sort of helping pollinate. By making a purchase for things like this, you're really sort of voting in the art of the way we live a life more by what we purchase, and we're voting more for a sustainable future.
This is raw coconut butter.
Raw coconut fat, yeah.
Now what about people who say that fats are no good and you have to eliminate fat from your
Oh my
diet?
God, no. This is so easily, readily available as a fuel, more than any other fat. It's got the lowest calorie and it's helpful for raising the very good cholesterol, the HDLs. So we're going to put a little bit of hot water.
It's called the emulsification
Yeah. Well, that's probably enough water, isn't it? But just enough to get a little bit of heat to bring those two ingredients together. What we were talking about just before, about the sea vegetable, this is really great sea vegetable, this is Irish moss. So Luke's going to be putting some of that in, and that sort of helps thicken, it sort of really makes it like, oh my God, you're really actually drinking something. But it's got all the minerals and everything that everybody would ever really need, right? It's got all the essential amino acids and things in there, it's incredible. This also is uncooked. 2 teaspoons worth of salt maybe for the amount of milk we're making.
I'm gonna add a little vanilla too.
This is a really, really great blender, of course, you know. I mean, if people are really interested to get more into this sort of way of living, it really is important probably to get a really great blender. And it's sort of really like a lifetime investment, you know.
Now we can do the actual milking. All this the other.
What Luke's done there is he's strained all of the sediment out of the milk thoroughly, because to make a really great culinary milk there should not really be any sediment in it at all. Plus he's cleared away all of the substance which really couldn't really be broken down properly by the digestive tract. The skin on the outside of the seed and things, and all of that's completely removed in this process here. Now he's got sort of like a concentrate which is going to bring the other ingredients that he's just blended now in with this, and then he's going to add a little bit of water. He's going to taste it as he adds water. He's going to mix that a little bit, and then we're going to just see if we've got the right consistency for the milk. Now we'll just have a tiny little taste and see if we need to add. Can we just dip? I'll just dip this in and just have a little taste here. Do you want to have a little taste? And then we'll just get a little idea of how much water we need to add. Or it's quite good as it is, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe more salt. More salt. Pour a little bit of this in here, and we'll add a little bit of salt to this, blend it, and then add it back in, and just to see that we're right on.
That age-old. If you have too much salt, it's not good for you.
Yeah, that's right. Most salts, Luke, on the market are not good. That's right. But this is biologically easily able to be transmutated into anything that's needed. So we're going to just blend this. If that's what we're looking for. The salt really makes it wonderful. It really does make it taste like milk, you know, because there's a lot of salt in milk, you know. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. It's a delicious flavour.
Yes.
It's a delicious flavoured milk. I think that people couldn't buy this in the store, could they? They're going to make it at home. This is a better milk than, I mean, my God, you've turned the city water supply into milk. It's like unbelievable.
Jub's Longevity, which is at 508 East 12th Street in New York's Lower East Side. So make sure if you're in the area to stop by and get some free samples. And also check out lifefood.com, which is coming up very shortly. Hi, I'm here today at Ray Longo's International Martial Arts Academy in Mineola, New York, and I'm going to be giving you a basic punching lesson. First, we're going to start with some boxing, shadow boxing. It's a great way to loosen up and just get warmed up mentally and physically for a tough workout. Okay, a couple of things you want to remember when you're shadow boxing: to aim your punches. Even though you're not hitting anything, you want to get that hand-eye coordination. So one of the things I like to do is look in the mirror and see the targets on my face where I'm punching. You got the chin, the temple. Chin and the temple is going to be your knockout points, knockout areas. Also, you can go for cuts, eyes, break the nose. You can also aim to the body, the solar plexus, the liver, the ribs. When one hand goes out to punch, the other one is going to protect. When one hand goes out, the other one protects. So keep those punches nice and tight. Turn your waist for power. Don't let your arms flare out. Alright, so I'm going to start the bell. We're going to go for 5 minutes. I'm going to use the mirror as a guideline. My hands are going to be up, and when I throw my punches, I'm aiming them at myself. The targets on my head are the temple, the nose, the eyes, and the chin. Once you get the idea of where you're going to punch, you can start to move around and just imagine somebody in front of you. Make sure that your hands come back to your head. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Alright, we're gonna practice a little more footwork and some push-ups. This type of drill can be done in a ring, in an octagon, in an open area. And we're gonna be emphasizing our footwork and our push-ups. So I'm gonna set the interval bell for 15-second intervals. Every bell, I'm gonna switch directions. And every 3 bells or so, I'm gonna drop down and do some push-ups, get nice and warmed up. Alright, here we go.